Okay. Good afternoon or good morning again. Now we are in phase of the repeated part of our product introduction. There is a little bit small issue with Diana microphone. If there will be any question, simply use question window, or at the end of our presentation, I will open all microphone and we can discuss it. Based on your question. Can somebody simply send the question or chat that you are able to hear me and you see first page of my presentation, just to be sure that everything is set properly? No response. Hello, is anybody listening? Oh, I can. Okay, thanks for confirmation. Okay, I will start immediately with repeated overview technology. What are some main characteristics, how to classify our equipment? In Repeatit, we are providing two type of products. One is called PTP, which is abbreviation for point-to-point. And second is PMP, which is abbreviation for point-to-multipoint. For both these type of products or solutions, it's characteristic that it's using MIMO technology. All units are coming with two antennas, two transmitter, two receiver. It's always running in MIMO. We are using horizontal and vertical polarization. If customer for some reason doesn't want MIMO, you can select whether you would like to use vertical, horizontal, or horizontal polarization. In fact, we have totally three different configurations. One, which is default, it's MIMO, that you are using both polarizations. Second configuration is just vertical polarization, and last one is just horizontal polarization. System is running as TDD. It's a difference if you look for V-band, E-band system. These systems are FDD, but Repeatit solution is TDD. And it's typical for this 5 gigahertz band, which is unlicensed. Sometimes people are called it Wi-Fi. It's using TDD type of it's time division duplex. It means there is use just one frequency, and transmission between master and client or base station and client. It's controlled by time. That some part of time it's from base station to client, and another time it's from client to base station. Our system is fully compliant with all Wi-Fi standards. If you want, for some reason, you can run technology as 11A, but we are also supporting 11N. And if you have 2.4 gigahertz card, I will explain later on what cards are available, but we can generally definitely also deliver product with 2.4 gigahertz card. This system can be also set as B, G, or N. What is typical if you are supporting some newer standard like 11N, we are always also supporting client with lower standard. In this case, if you configure system as 2.4 gigahertz and 11N, this system will support also client 11B and G. But be careful if you allow this older version of client, you will definitely degrade dramatically the performance of the network overall or aggregate throughput of your solution. Regarding the throughput, 2 points or two key points for remembering. Because it's TDD system, we are always speaking about aggregate speed. It means it's a sum of downlink and uplink. Downlink it's always from base station or from master to client, and uplink it's from client to base station or to master. And if you look for a PTP solution, point to point, when you have just two units connected together, we can achieve up to 190 megabits per second. This is aggregate. It's again sum downlink and uplink. And this speed, which I am presenting as 190, it's user throughput. It's speed which you can measure from Ethernet to Ethernet port. We have another speed or another figures which are called wireless link or air speed, and these speeds are related to use modulation, coding, and so on. I will show you later on table. And if I am look for the highest air speed which you can achieve on PTP link, it is 300 megabits per second, but this is between radios. And if you look on this 300 megabits radio speed, we are able to achieve 190 megabits user throughput. This throughput can be measured from computers using some iPerf or similar type of utility. If you look for point-to-multipoint solution, we can achieve aggregate capacity around 180 megabits. If all clients are using the highest modulation, you can go up to this capacity. It's a little bit less, but it's logical because in PMP base station it's also sending some broadcasted traffic, and broadcasted traffic it's always using the lowest modulation to be sure that it's delivered to everybody in the network. This is why it's different here. Regarding frequency, I already mentioned it's we have solution for 2.4 and also for 5 gigahertz. We are supporting bands which are very close to 5 gigahertz. You will see later on table. Our main volume, production volume, it's 5X, which is supporting from 5.1 to 5.9. But we are also able to deliver 4.9, which is public safety band, and also 6 gig or 5.9, which is allowed in some countries. And we are also working on some higher frequency because we have customers which are looking for 6.4 up to 6.4 gigahertz. If you need, if you have some opportunity for band which we are not covering, but it's in this area of around 5 gigahertz, just discuss it with Diana, and if there will be real business case and real opportunity for some significant volume of units, we can check what is possible and very quickly develop, because we have universal modem board, and to adopt another frequency, it's just to select right radio card and then make some small software changes or modification. Regarding the channel selection in countries and in frequency band where is required DFS, we are supporting DFS. That system is scanning, selecting best channel, and if there is some radar detection, system is skipping to another channel. But we have also possibility to use manual configuration, that you will simply specify what channel it's used, or you can do something between. You can simply select what channels are ready for use. You have table when you simply click okay, this channel it's usable or not, and then select auto channel from this list. And in this case you have, for example, 20 channels, but you will say okay, this unit can use just 5 channels, and specify these 5 channels, and the unit will select the best channel from these 5 preferred or selected channels. Regarding channel bandwidth, on all systems, PTP and PMP, we are supporting 4 channel sizes: 5, 10, 20, and 40 megahertz channel size. In some documentation, you can see that 5 or 10 it's not supported, but we introduced, I think it was start of July, version or firmware for PMP, and in June, even 1 month early, for PTP, we released load when where is allowed to use 5, 10, 20, and 40 megahertz channel. On all systems, we have spectrum analyzer that you can measure what is your spectrum, how your spectrum looks like, if there are some another systems, what is the noise level, and so on. And we have also speed test. Speed test is today available on PTP solution only. It's unidirectional, and it's not affecting the user traffic. Spectrum analyzer is affecting user traffic because you have to switch off transmitter and you are just scanning all channels. In speed test on PTP system, it's today without service affecting. System is simply counting what users are sending, and it's trying to send as much as possible. Of course, if you would like to measure it regularly, it's better to have no user traffic, just to be sure what value you are achieving. And at this moment, it's unidirectional. What is good news, we are just now in testing phase of updated load for point-to-multipoint solution, and there will be something similar to iPerf, if you are familiar with this very nice utility which is doing performance testing. And we are implementing our iPerf client and server on base station and subscriber, or similar to iPerf, and you will be able from subscriber measure bidirectional what is the capacity of connection between base station and this subscriber. Regarding specific, it's again layer 2 device. PTP, it's always layer 2 device. In PMP, point to multipoint, you can work in 2 mode. One is called bridge mode, which is traditional layer 2 network, and you can also work in so-called NAT mode. In this case, subscriber device, it's doing network address translation, and it's looking like local network for the user. Subscriber unit is working as local DHCP server. You can activate PPPO session from subscriber and make it like isolated island, which is connected over a PPP connection or even over additional network. But most of our networks are running as layer 2 because it's easy for configuration. All units are with web interface. That you have web interface, I will show you later on. PTP, base station, and also subscriber unit, and I will also show you our management systems. This management system, we have two. One is called Cloud Network Management or Cloud Server. Cloud is just for point-to-point solution, and it's really cloud technology. We have a very secure server located in some Swedish data center somewhere in the big hill, which is super protected with redundant power, a lot of independent connections here. And this server, it's communicating with your link. And if you need to manage the link, make some configuration, any activities which you are normally doing from the web, you can simply go from any place in the world, connect to the cloud server, and go through the cloud server to PTP link. For PMP solution, or second management system, it's called RCS, radio control or repeated control software. And this RCS is universal. You can manage point-to-point and also point-to-multipoint product from this RCS server. And this is traditional server-based management. You have to install server in your network, and this server it's monitoring, configuring, and managing all repeated product which you have in your network. On PTP, you can combine both management. You will see on the configuration page that you have two independent sections. One is related to cloud and one to RCS, and you can use either no management or just cloud or just RCS or both. It's fully up to customer what type of management he is preferring. These are some key characteristics. Regarding the point-to-point, I already mentioned it's based on the two units. It's similar to V-band or E-band product. You have two units, and these two units are connecting to networks or providing some connection to remote subscriber. But it's a characteristic that you have just two units. One is called master, and second it's called client. All our PTP products are named Trinity and some number behind it. If you see somewhere Trinity in our documentation presentation, it's always point-to-point system. On example here, or picture here, we have two point-to-point system. The middle is working as repeater. You see that we have one device which is connecting this network. It's going to some hill. There is opposite end of this link, and over Ethernet it's connected the second link and going to the final destination. In this case, we have four devices: 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is link 1, link 2. Regarding product, you see now real pictures of our products. It's again Trinity. It's PTP system, and behind this Trinity name, it's there are 3 digits. These digits are specifying what type of product and what type of antenna it's used in this product. The top one, like with highest throughput and with all the features, it's Trinity 323 or 300. And regarding this number, first number is specifying what type of Ethernet it's used. If product has first number 3, like Trinity 323, 316, it means that Ethernet connection, which is going to this unit, is up to gigabit Ethernet. It's auto sensing. It can be Ethernet, fast Ethernet, or gigabit Ethernet. If it's on the first place, digit number 1, it's like on the bottom, Trinity 116M and 116M plus. This one, it's saying that this device it's up to fast Ethernet, and it's again auto sensing. It can be connected to Ethernet, which is 10 megabit, or fast Ethernet, which is 100 megabit capacity. This is first digit. The second 2 digit in Trinity products are usually related to type of antenna. If you look 323 and look for antenna gain, last 2 digits are 23, and it means there is 23 dBi gain antenna. If it's 300, which is on same line, and you see that there is difference, 300, it's smaller unit because there is no integrated antenna. There are just two N-type connectors, and you can connect your own antenna. It's so-called connectorized version. Regarding functionality, software, and so on, everything is same. Difference is that 323 has integrated antenna. You have just one Ethernet connector. 300 has three connectors, one Ethernet and two N-type connectors because it's MIMO system, and you have to have horizontal and vertical antenna. If you are looking for the middle part, it's 316. It's again same software. If you look for web page, it's not totally same. Difference is that there is not 16 but 18 dBi antenna inside. It's smaller unit. It's suitable for some short application, short links like 2-3 kilometers. When you don't need 23 dBi antenna and 16 dBi, it's enough. And last one, it's 116, and again this 16, it's related 16 dBi antenna which is integrated inside. And the next classification in the name, you can see like Trinity 323 TDD and Trinity 323 TDD Plus. If product has plus at the end of the name, it means that this product supports 40 MHz channel. If it's no plus, it's supporting just up to 20 MHz. It means 5, 10, and 20 MHz. If you need, it's just how to say, price optimization. It's a very popular term, pay as you grow, and it's exactly what you can use if you are proposing or positioning our product. That if customer is not so sure what will be required capacity, you can say, okay, we can start with, for example, Trinity 323 TDD, which is able to deliver up to 100 megabit aggregate capacity. And later on, if you need more, you can simply pay software license, and system will allow also activate 40 megahertz channel, and you will go from 100 megabits to 190 megabits capacity. It's no change on the hardware. It's just software key which will allow you to use more channels or more wider channel, and wider channel means that you are able to achieve higher capacity for you. Same is for 316, and eventually there is possibility to have it for Trinity 116, but up to now we are, there is not so big difference in price, and 50 and 100 megabits, it's almost similar capacity, and people are usually buying 116 and plus. This is what is saying this plus, that the plus system is able to use 40 megahertz channel. Without plus, just up to 20 megahertz channel. If you order Trinity Link, if you select, for example, Trinity 316 TDD or Trinity 116, you will receive always complete link. It's similar to V-band. If you order this link, there is one part number. What you will receive? You will receive 2 units. In this case, it's Trinity 1116. You will receive this mounting brackets, which is ready for wall mounting. You see that there is one piece and second piece, and this piece can be mounted on the wall. And you can also adopt this to the pole mounting, that you are using just one bracket, and then you have this U-ring which is with screws and nuts, and you can use this for pole installation. Unit, it's coming with this waterproof gland or connector that you can put cable inside, and you have again gum ring. You have this something like lamella. I'm not so sure if it's correct in English, but you have pieces of plastic, and you have nut, and when you fix it properly, these pieces are touching this gum ring, and it's making waterproof protection for Ethernet cable. Be careful, this metallic or this plastic connector, it's fixed on the unit, and it's fixed by glue. If you would if you try to untouch it from the unit, you will definitely destroy it. It's happening time to time. You will destroy it, and you have to send it for repair, or you have to at least ask us to send new gland and change it. Yeah, be careful. People are time to time trying to take it out. Do not take it out. It's really glue. There is glue used on it, and it's really fixed in the unit. If you order 300 series, it's same as before. Difference is that they are different unit. You will receive, for example, this is 300. You will receive the small 300 unit. If you order 3 to 3, again you will receive 2 units, which are equipped totally. It's antenna, it's fixing. You have just this Ethernet port. You are receiving again mounting kits, which is ready for wall installation and also for mast installation or pole installation. You will receive 2 power injector and again unit. This connector or this connector, they are glued, they are fixedly connected to the unit, and it's not allowed to take it out. Regarding configuration, if you need go in this unit, you will receive like 4 pages quick installation guide, and this is exactly part of this installation guide. Link, if it is PTP link, it's tested and pair it as link. It's if you unpack a link from the boxes and it's still in default factory setting, and you will power up these units, link will be immediately go up, and you will be able to transmit data. Master is on the address 10.0.0.1, slave or client it's 10.0.0.2, access it's admin and password public, and it's using A-class netmask, it's 255.0.0.0. If you need connect, it's very easy. You can simply program your computer with address 10.0.0.3 or something different than 1 and 2 at the end, and you will be able to go to the unit. Back to this configuration I mentioned, or in our materials, you can see that it's a carrier class solution, and it's really true. It's a big difference if you compare some our competitors, that they are simply providing some boxes or some components and you have to put together. Our approach is different. We are really doing regular tests. When units are producing, they are put together. They are going through temperature tests, performance tests, to be sure that when link is going from the factory, units are working and there is no issue with the system. And we have very low dead on arrival cases. Time to time we have some regular cases, but mainly they are related to some non-proper installation, like that the unit fall down 10 meters from the mast and so on. But generally very low failure rate, because everything is testing before it's going from the factory. Point to multipoint, it's PMP abbreviation for this. It's a little bit different. There is no master and client. We are naming it base station. This is like central point, and the device, it's called subscriber unit. You see name B, or naming it's BS some number and SU and some numbers. Characteristic is also that there is one base station and typically more subscriber units, and this is why it's multi-point. That one point it's connecting more points. Our typical networks, we have some customer which are running 2-3 subscriber on one base station only, because they are providing some business type of application on it. Normal network, when we have some residential customer and also some business customer, typical number of subscriber rates around 20, 30, up to 50. System is able to provide connection for hundreds SUs, but capacity is limited, and if you would like to provide good services, you have to also calculate number of subscribers, because if you are saying, okay, I'm providing 10 megabits bidirectional connection for each subscriber, and you will put 20 subscribers on such network, you can calculate, I have 20 megabits per user, I have 20 users, it's maximum 400 megabits. But we know that maximum aggregate capacity is 180. In this case, you are doing something like 2.5 hour subscription. If you increase the service to not to 10 but to 20 megabits, it's even higher. And this is what is reality. From couple of subscribers to, let's say, 40-50 subscribers are our currently networks. It means real user network or customer networks with PMP solutions. I mentioned that central point, it's named base station. You can also know access point or AP. It's this type of equipment. And again, regarding the name, it's BS and some number. Again, this product, it's running as MIMO. You have both polarization, or you have 2 radio, 2 transmitter, 2 receiver in each unit. And regarding the number, it's first digit, it's same as before. If it's first digit 3, it means it's up to gigabit Ethernet. Again, auto sensing supported Ethernet, fast Ethernet, gigabit Ethernet. If it's 1, which is example BS120, it's just fast Ethernet or fast Ethernet connection. The number behind, it's not so easy to specify, but there is one last digit can you indicate number of radios. You see first example upper left corner, it's BS342. This 2 at the end means that there are 2 radio cards inside. I will explain, or I will show you later how it looks like inside, but it's really 2 radio cards, and these radio cards are independent. You can configure one radio card as base station and second radio card as client, or you can make base station or client. It's up to you. What is characteristic BS342? It's coming with one integrated antenna, which is 90 degrees with 16 dBi gain. It is covering 90 degrees. And second radio, you can look, you have 2 N-type connector. One is here and second is here. In the middle, it's Ethernet cable or Ethernet connector. And this is what you can, how you can connect the second radio. One radio first, it's connected to the integrated antenna, which is this big one. And second radio, it's available on these connectors. And now you can connect some directional antenna if you need point-to-point connection from this base station to another one. Or you can put another sector antenna, and from, in this case, from this unit, you have 2 sector. You are covering 2 times 90 degrees. It means you are covering 180 degrees area. And this is BS342, 2 radio inside. BS340, it's same case, but you see difference. This one, it's middle connector. This is for Ethernet connection, but there is no N-type connector. You see there are some cups, and this one, it's with one radio, and this radio is connected to the integrated antenna. Next product are BS322, and you see I have one Ethernet cable, which is in the middle, and then I have 2 N-type connector. This upper one are for radio 1, and this is for radio 2. And again, you can configure this radio independently. And last one is BS120. Pardon. And this is connectorized version. You have no integrated antenna, and you see you have just 2 N-type connectors. It means there is 1 radio card inside. This is about number of radios. Regarding radio cards inside, type of radio cards, you see we have 2 cards. We have card which is named N5, and based on the numbers here, you see it's 11A and N. It's just running in 5 GHz mode. You can either select 11A or 11N. Next type of card it's NX, which is AGN. If you remember all these Wi-Fi standards, 11G, it's standard running in 2.4 GHz. A, it's standard running in 5 GHz. This is a really universal card, and you can program what band will be used, well, either 2, 4, or 5. In this case, if you order, for example, system 322, BS322 with 2 NX card inside, you can one radio program as 2.4 and second radio as 5 GHz card. And in this case, you have like universal access point. This is one difference, supporting the frequency. Another difference is in output power. The N5 card has 23 dB at radio port. NX card has 3 dB less. It has just 20 dB at radio port. This is about base station. If you order base station, you have again base station, you have mounting kit which is ready for wall or pole installation, and you have power injector to be able to make power or delivery power. I didn't mention at the startup, but we are using regular PoE, power over internet, which is specified as AO23AF. This is the smaller one. It's real PoE. It's not PoE plus or PoE plus plus. Yeah. PoE plus and plus plus, it's required for V-band product, and repeated product are using just PoE. Regarding SU, subscriber unit, these are end devices. On the left side, there are 2 products which are SU5510 and SU2510. These are traditional 11 BG and 11A product. They are without MIMO. They are not supporting 11N. It's just for some very old customer. And on the right side, we have we have MIMO. You see also MIMO at the end of the name. We have this 3 type of subscriber. And again, first digit mean 1, it's type of connection, it's Ethernet, fast Ethernet. And second 2 digit are saying what is the antenna gain. On the top, it's SU123, it means it's 23 dBi antenna. SU116, it's 16 dBi antenna, and SU100, it's connectorized version. You have again, you have Ethernet connection, and then you have 2 N-type connectors, and you can connect your antenna. If you order, you will receive again everything in. You will receive unit, you will receive mounting kit, you will receive PoE, and you will receive short Ethernet cable to be able to connect. Because if you have some connection from computer to some part, you simply make connection from computer to PoE and then continue this cable to the unit. And again, this PoE are based on the region. This one it's for the UK, but we have also the US type of plug and Europe type of plug. Setting, default settings, it's base station, it's like master, it's 10.0.0.1. Access is admin public, again, it's always for all product. And SU has a little bit different, as you can see. If you need to access it locally from Ethernet port, you have different address. You see it's 192.168.51. It's programmed in the SU, and it's using C class, which is 255.255.255.0. And you have to program your computer with another one. You can take, for example, 2 at the end, or 3, 11, 100, whatever, which is allowed in this subnet. And now it's look to inside. It's like, highly confidential material. This is one radio system. It means I have one radio card inside. If you remember our product overview, it's for example BS120 or BS340. It's single radio system. This is physical BS340 because you have this big antenna, which is 90 degrees sector antenna. You have modem board, and then you have slot for 2 cards. But you see that now there is just 1 card, and this card is connected through this pigtails or short RF cable directly to the antenna. And then you have this PoE port, which is providing powering to the unit. This is one radio system. You have 1 card, and this card is connected either to antenna, which is BS340, or to N-type connectors if it's BS120. The second example is BS342. It's a little bit better quality, and you see now in details that it's same modem board, but we have 2 radio cards. The lower one, which is radio 0 or first one, it's connected again to integrated antenna because it's example BS342 when I have 1 radio on integrated antenna. And second radio card, the upper one, you see they are the RF cables, they are going down and they are connected on N-type connectors, and you can connect your own antenna. Regarding radio cards, I mentioned this NX and N5. You see now this is NX card, and if you have NX card inside, there is a shot or snapshot from the web interface. And for this card, if you look on the frequency, you see all these 5 type of configuration. If you select 11B, it will work in 2.4 gigahertz, but it will support up to 11B. If you select 11G, it will support up to 2.4. It will support 11B and G because G is newer protocol, but it will again run in 2.4. Or you can select also 11N in 2.4. 11N it's standard, which is specified for both band 2, 4, and 5. And if you select anything with 2, 4, this card will be able to select one of these 13 channels which are allocated in 2.4 gigahertz. If you select 5 gigahertz, it can be either 11A, which is supporting older protocol, or 11N. And if you select one of these 2 protocols, system will work in 5 gigahertz. This is NX card, which is universal. N5 card, it's just for 5 gigahertz. And remember, 23 dB output from this card. And if you go to the frequency, you have just 2 options, 11A or 11N. This is difference. Keep in mind that not all cards are universal. The most of our products are going as N5 because people prefer this 3 dB. But in case that you need to have, you know, backward compatibility, or you have mix of client, you can use our NX card, and you can configure what frequency will be used. And overview, pardon, overview of our products. I mentioned that we have mainly everything in 5.1 to 5.9 or 5.15 to 5.85. But you can also see that we are supporting 2.4, which is NX card, and we are also supporting 4.9, which is public safety band, and we are supporting also this 5.9 or 6 gigahertz. And now we are working on this 6.4 gigahertz extension. And as I mentioned, if you see some opportunity, just discuss it with Diana. And if it will be real opportunity with good size, we can think about some customization of the radio card for frequency which you need to use. A couple of slides related to theory. If you are not so familiar, what does mean MIMO? It's abbreviation for multiple input, multiple output, and it's exactly what you see on the picture. That I have one device which is on the left. This is one device, and this is second device, and I'm just now presenting the arrows for one direction from this transmitter to this receiver. And you see I have two transmitter and I have two receiver, and this transmitter, it's sending one signal, and you see how can be received. It can go to receiver 1, but it can go directly, it can be reflected, and it can also go to receiver 2 directly or reflected. And the algorithms which is behind, it's so clever that or so smart that he's able to say, okay, this is these are data which I already have, or these are some noise data, because if this reflection is too long, the data over this distance are arriving later than this one, and they are simply dropped. Or if it's like this one, he can combine energy, and finally the receiving signal is stronger, and in this case you have higher probability that you are decoding it properly. This is what MIMO is, that you have more transmitter, more receiver. Regarding specification of MIMO, it's normally use some numbers. You can see 2 numbers or 3 numbers, and it's what is on this scheme. You can see 2 by 2 with 2, or 2 by 2 with 3, or something like that, or 3 by 2 with 2, and so on. What does mean? You have identification or description of this M, N, and S letters. M is abbreviation for, or it's variable for number of transmit antennas. N is for receiving antennas, and S it's identification of data streams. One data stream is 150 megabits, and remember it's maximum. And on PTP I mentioned that we have 300 airspeed, 300 megabits airspeed, and this is that we are able to take 2 data streams which are 2 times 150, which is 300. In this case, our systems, our repeated systems, are classified like 2 by 2. We have 2 transmitter, 2 receiver with 2 data streams. If you look for specification for 11, and highest one is 4 by 4 with 4. In this case, you have 4 transmitter, 4 receiver, and you can have up to 4 data streams. It's not always like that you have all numbers same. For indoor Wi-Fi access point, you can now see very often that they are using technology 3 by 3 with 2 data streams. It means you have 3 transmitters, 3 receiver, and 2 data streams. But you can also see, for example, 2 by 3, that you have 2 transmitters, 3 receiver, or 3 by 2, 3 transmitter and 2 receivers. It's not defined that it has to be same. You can have different number of transmitter and different number of receivers, but it's not case for our outdoor stuff. We are using 2 by 2 MIMO, and we are using horizontal and vertical polarization one, and this is why we have 2 by 2. Another type of technology which is older one, or which is, for example, used in traditional microwave, it's called SISO. You have single output, single input, single output. And regarding the capacities, you can see what was changed. If you look here, 54 megabit per second was maximum airspeed. Airspeed, it's not user speed. Airspeed for legacy system. For example, 11G or 11A, these systems have maximum air capacity around 54 megabits. And the real user throughput on this airspeed, it's around 20, 22, 25 megabits. With our system, on one data stream, you have 150. We have 2 data streams. We have 300 megabits. and we are achieving on PTP system 190. If you compare, here I have 20 megabit user throughput, and with this one I have 180. I have 9 times higher user capacity. And why it's so different? Because they are different modulation. There are some changing the guard interval, and also it's using different coding. And you see now from 54 megabits I'm able to go up to 150 megabits. And what is maximum? Remember, 4x4 with 4 data stream. It's exactly this one that you can have up to 600 megabits. But we have this one. We are allocating this 2, and we have 300 megabits airspeed as maximum. And there is table, which is making a relation between modulation, number of streams, and final airspeed. And you see here, even if you are looking for very old standard, which is 11B, you can see that the highest airspeed was 11 megabits. When they introduce G standard, it goes up to 54, but still 54 megabits maximum. If you look for 11N and you are on this highest modulation and using short guard interval and 40 megahertz channel, you see this 300 megabits. With this is for PTP system. For PMP system, we are not supporting short guard interval. We are just supporting long guard interval, and in this case, maximum airspeed it's 270 megabits. Regarding this is very good table, because if you are looking for some status page, system is presenting this speed, and if you need to know what is used modulation, you have to know such table that if you see, okay, it's 300 megabits on 40 megahertz channel, in this case I am running 64 QAM. If you see 135 and you know on 40 megahertz channel, you know that it's MCS 6, again 64 QAM, but just with one data stream. Regarding Trinity, it's very shortly how you can check whether link, point-to-point link will work. It's very easy how to make some preliminary classification. You can use Google Earth or similar application, because you can now on Google Earth you can see the path profile and you will be able to detect whether it's a line of sight or not. Regarding this type of application, there are 3 type of, how to say, profile or link characteristic. One is line of sight. Line of sight means that there is no obstacles between radios, but it's not just the signal is not propagated over line. It's always going in space. It's doing this ellipsoid, and it's called Fresnel zone. And there is some parameter. If first Fresnel zone is mainly without any obstruction, without no tree, no building, and so on, it's called line of sight. Near line of sight, you can see opposite side, but you have some some obstacles. Again, it can be tree, houses, buildings, or anything which are blocking this Fresnel zone. It means you can see opposite side, but you know that it's partially blocked by some obstacles. And non-line of sight, which is with capital N, mean that there is no direct visibility. You have to use definitely some reflection. And how it is with our application? By generally 11N standard was not designed for near line of sight and non-line of sight application, but because it's using this MIMO approach, in some application the near line of sight and non-line of sight links can work, but definitely there is no way how to plan, how to say, theoretically say, yeah, it will work and on this speed. There is only one way how to do it. You have to install the link unit and check whether there is some connection and what is stability, what is throughput on this connection. If you are thinking to do some, if there are some planning tools which can make some assumption, but again, it's there is no, because it's very difficult to describe what is this type of near line of sight or non-line of sight. And for example, if you have two units and between the units it's just big hill and there is no way how to reflect the signal, this will definitely not work. But if you are in the city and there is some reflection over buildings, roofs, and so on, it can work, even if you have on the opposite side of the building, because signal can travel around the building because of reflection. If you know the best, I very like Google, because if people don't know coordinates, you can simply look for the maps, and almost all part of board there is enough, how to say, enough details to identify, okay, this is building, or if maps are ordered, you can say, okay, this is building which was before, or which is next to my, and my it's not built or on the map, but I know that it's next to this one. And you can simply make this point, site A, site B. You can specify some comment that, okay, it's on the mast which is 15 meter, on the roof which is 30 meter above ground. And you can simply click on this line and you see immediately what is distance. You see it's 6.6 kilometers. If you click with the right button on the Google Earth line, you will see this path profile. It's coming immediately from the Google. There is a NASA database when you can see terrain level. There are no, if there are some buildings or some forest, you don't see tree, you see just ground level. Even this one, in this part, somewhere here, there is river. Yeah, it's probably like here, and you don't see water. You just see the terrain profile, because this is where is the ground. But okay, it's looking good. I have to just check area which is close to me on this side, and probably I have to check this one if there is some tall building on some forest. You can do it, and again, you can do it from the Google Earth, because you can look, and if your map is not so old, you can from Google Earth identify if it's line of sight or not. And if you are not so sure, you see some building, the best way is go on site and check how it's working, how it's looking like. It's about very quick, how to say, PTP link verification. For PMP, okay, there are some planning tools, but they are usually very expensive. And the reason is that PTP is easy because you know two coordinates, and you can just check the profile and then check that there are no buildings, no trees. For PMP, if you would like to have planning tool, you have to have exact, not only map, but you have to have also, it's called geographic information system. You have to have information about street, building, if there are some forest, and so on. And issue is that to have updated this graphical data, it's very expensive. Yeah, it's not what you can find. You can find free of charge the street. You can see the roads and street, and then you can specify something like average high of the building which is between the streets. But in this case, you will have again just assumption how system will probably looks like, and again you have to go and verify. And this is typical for PMP system, that you have to go on site, install base station, and then if you need to install the client, the best way is to look to take SU and just go on site and try to scan if there is a good signal from your base station or not. Regarding management, it's again repeating. Trinity Link, which is PTP solution, you can use direct configuration via web interface. We have cloud management. I didn't mention that it's free of charge. You can simply ask for the cloud account and you can use it without any payment. It's totally free. And RCS, which is, remember, it's server-based management, that you have to install your RCS server. It's good that for RCS, if you need to test it, there is free license. You can go to the support pages. I will show you later. And there is installation package, and there is also license key. The limitation is that this license key is working for 1 year, and you can manage maximum 50 nodes. But for some testing, for some evaluation, it's enough. Yeah. If you need more nodes, it's for discussion. If it's for trial, we can generate some time limited license. But if it's for regular usage, you have to buy this more than 50 node license. Okay. Regarding next point, it's security. I put it extra slide because I know how people are usually doing installation, that they are putting up, and if link is working, they are not touching configuration. But keep in mind, this is system which is tested in the factory, and it's coming with factory defaults. And if you look to the documentation, or if you have link from the past, you know what are these defaults. And this is first security point: change defaults to your secure or proprietary setting. Regarding this security, we have 3 parameters. On each unit, you can program remote MAC address. There are 2 possibilities. One is that you will put real MAC address of your opposite side. In this case, only unit with this MAC address is able to set up the link. or you can put all zeros. In this case, any unit it's able to make connection. Second parameter is link ID. It has to be same on both ends. It's logical because it's link ID and it's using like SSID or beacon identification. It's still not so secure because it's just a string and it's just identification. And last parameter is the most important. It's called passphrase, and if you are familiar with encryption, it's also called pre-shared key, and this is key which is used for IS encryption. All systems are running IS encryption. There is no way how to switch off. You can just change the pre-shared key, and this is what you have to do, because if you look for the default, there is Trinity ID or something. It's on all links. And again, keep in mind, if you install a real customer link, please do not forget to change default, and do not stay on default. Just put your own values. RCS management, I mentioned it's standalone, and I already mentioned that Trinity unit can be managed either just from the web and from the cloud, from the web and RCS, or you can use all from the web, RCS and cloud. Regarding RCS server, it's very friendly. We are supporting just Linux platform, and additional applications which are needed, it's just Java, internet browser and MySQL database. Java and MySQL, it's free. RCS, you will receive installation and package from us, and if you need to test it, you can download this key for 1 year and 50 nodes, and it's all. How it's working? It's really secure management. Everything is scripted. If you buy equipment from us, all devices, they have Repeatit certificate inside. If you need, you can replace it. And basic idea is that you have server, you have devices which you are managing. Communication between server and devices is always scripted. And if you need to connect as user, we are using web interface, and it's always using HTTPS. It's going as SSL connection using this 443 port, or in this case 500 port, but it's even this connection, it's scripted. It's not using HTTP, it's using HTTPS. Regarding the RCS, why to sell it to the customer? I think it's almost obvious. It's unified management for point-to-point and also for point-to-multipoint product. Anything from Repeatit can be managed by the RCS. The system is using traditional, we called it rule sets, but it's like policy that you just specify, for example, what will be VLAN setting, what will be SSID settings. You have this like templates or pre-configuration, and then if you need configure real device, you are just saying, okay, use for VLAN setting, use this rule set, for bandwidth management, this rule set, for SSID, this rule set. And your network is really consistent because you are not typing parameters device by device. You are simply saying, okay, there is my configuration and take this configuration. From RCS, you can do full configuration. You don't need to, for some activities, for some changes, go to the web interface. Everything can be done from RCS. There is a feature which is called easy SU adaptation. It's very useful for customers with, if they have a lot of SUs and every day it's installed a lot of SUs. They have a so-called basic installation team. There are people which know how to make connection, how to make cable, how to install or mount some mast, and they can simply create this pole, put unit on the pole, make cable, then power up the unit and make alignment. And because there are LED indicators on the unit, how good it's receiving signal, they even not to need to connect computer and make some configuration. They can do everything just with the screws. And when they are connected, when they see that they are connected by the LEDs, they can simply call to the network operation center or to some operator, and operators through RCS, it's able to see, okay, I see this SU connected on base station, and then set everything, including IP addresses, VLANs, bandwidth from RCS to SU. You have statistics. It's logical because the server is pooling and taking statistic and performance data from all devices, and you can read this data, today, 1 day back, 1 week back, for past months, for past 3 months, and you see what was happening with the system. And we have also online statistic that you can monitor what is the status of the client. If there is some troubleshooting, you can even every second read what are the transmit data, receive data, what modulations were used, what was the error rate, what is the receiving level of the signal, and these key parameters for some troubleshooting. And I mentioned before, it's Linux platform and almost free software. You are just paying for RCS, and everything rest can be almost free. Regarding the cloud management, a little bit more details. I mentioned it's traditional cloud application. There is cloud server, and it's very useful for two cases. First one is if customer is starting with Repeatit technology, that there is no requirements to implement the RCS. They can simply install the links and say, okay, this 2, 3, 5, 10 links we will manage by cloud. And second, for trial and testing, because if you are doing some trial with some potential customer, you can make agreement. Okay, we will provide you unit for 1 month testing, for example, install it, and then provide management or accept this or add this link under cloud management, and you will be able to see what is happening with the link. You will see performance data, what is user data, what is airspeed, everything. All these data you can see very easy from the web interface. And how to create the account is very easy. There is a page www.repeatit.net. Then it's option subscribe, that you can create your account. The account name is email address. You put some live email address, then put a password which you will use on the cloud. Confirm this password and send a request, or press some button submit or something like this. And system will generate automatically confirmation email. You will receive on email address which you specify as account. When you receive this email, there is a activation link. When you click on this link, your account is active and you can log to the cloud. Okay, this is about the management. Is there any question up to now about management? I don't see any question. Okay, I will now. Oh, no. I'm not leaving. I'm just now switching to web browser. First one is RCS software. You see it's organized in networks, which is like geographic domains. I'm located in the Czech Republic. I have sub 10 CZ. If I click on sub 10 CZ, I have a lot of equipment here. I have some BS C42, remember 2 radio system. I have some Trinity 116/300 C23. If I click on base station, you see I have radio 1, which is using auto channel, and second radio it's configured as client. And on this channel, on this first radio, I have configured one SSID, which is named sub10 open, and I have connected one subscriber on it. On base station, on one radio card, if it's running as a base station, you can configure up to 4 SSID, 4 different SSIDs. And regarding the configuration, it's very easy. If you need to configure, you can simply go to the unit configuration and you see I have some generic setting like IP address of base station, what channel it's used, and so on. What domain it's used, some default bandwidth and VLAN rules. I am also able to configure that it's managed by RCS. And then I have 2 radio. Look for it. It's VLAN 1. You see it's one configuration. You can configure it as master or client. If it's master, which is like base station, you see I can create up to 4 different APs. And second card is VLAN 2, and again it's same items but totally independent. There is no relation between VLAN 1 and VLAN 2. And this is very useful because you see now it's configured as client and it can be used like point to point for some coverage extension. If you look to the client, it's we are now supporting this Google Map that you can look. You can see how device are where device are installed. You have coordinates for each device, and in unit config you see configuration. Remember I mentioned bridge or routing mode. You have IP address for local management, for one management. You have setting for radio and these type of parameters. Now you see that I am running on 10 megahertz channel only. This is the RCS. If you look for Trinity, for example, 300, You have master slave. If I click on master, you have again some setting for RCS. You can configure the coordinates, and in unique configuration you have setting what is this unit name and these parameters. And remember my comments about security, and this is very bad example because I am exactly on the default. You see that link ID, it's Trinity TDD, passphrase is Trinity TDD. Everybody who knows it can simply take down slave unit, connect his own slave unit, and immediately take my data. If I put different passphrase, it's not able to do it. This is RCS. If you are looking for cloud, it's remember Repeatit net. I have autologin and I'm log as Peter Sotner at email CZ, and you see this unit 300 is here. You see also it on the Google Maps where the link is located, and if you click, you see master client. If you click on this area for the link, you see graphs. What is volume of traffic? What is airspeed used between the systems? You see now it's almost full time on the 300 megabits. You see what is the receiving signal strength indicator on master slave, what are errors on master and slave. If you need data just for one unit, you can simply click on the frame for the unit and system is changing graphs. They are now related to master. And here you see it's daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly. If you need for some reason, okay, I know that it was today around 8 a.m., you can simply go to any graph, make like a selection, and system is changing that you see now precisely what was the volume of the traffic. This is cloud. Very easy, very useful. If you need to now, for example, I'm managing. If I need to add somebody else, you can go simply to manage my network. You can specify account under cloud. You will edit, and this guy who are here, it's my some personal address, it's my colleague, and this is my subten address. These three people are able now to manage the link. And if you need, for example, support from us, you can simply add your cloud link to the cloud and then put my company address, and I will be able to log to the system as and see your link immediately. Okay, any question to management, or it's clear? Remember, cloud it's free, and if you need RCS, last web page is Repeatit SE because it's Swedish company. If you connect it, you go to the support, for example, multipoint. You are again able to download documentation and firmware. Everything is free. If you click on the base station, you see release notes for the firmware. Remember, I mentioned that we are supporting 510 megabits. It's not. Oh, here we added support for 5 and 10 megahertz channel. And if you need to download, you can simply click and you are downloading. You don't need to have any service contract. If you just need firmware, you can do it. You just need to have service contract if you need some support. If you need to call to our support center and to request some support from us. If you click on the section RCS, you have again possibility to download the installation package for Linux, and here is you see it's a unit demo license. It's without support, it's just for testing, and this is the activation key. If you put this key to your system, to your RCS system, you will have 1 year working system for up to 50 nodes. Okay, this is about web pages and all this support stuff. Still no question. I am returning back to the presentation. I just put a couple of slides about special applications which are related to dual radio systems, that we have two radio card in one physical unit. First application is if you need some high reliable solution. If for some reason customer is asking, okay, I know that there is a lot of interferences time to time. I need to be sure that my connection will be always on. You can do it in this way, that you can install base station with dual radio system. Even this is, for example, BS322. You will install two antennas. This radio one, it's used as main, and if it's a high level of interferences and this radio is not usable, system will be able to connect to the second one. It's not automatically, it's you need always couple of seconds before system, if session is down, as you it's scanning again spectrum, and if there is a new AP, it's connected to this new AP. It's couple of seconds, but still without any user or operator work behind it. You can simply do it automatically. If one radio is down, second radio will take pardon, this subscriber. The second scenario, and I think this one it's very useful, it's called backhaul included or remote coverage. In this case, I have again dual radio. One radio it's using as access as base station for client which are around this one. It can be either 5 or 2.4 gigahertz. And second radio, you can put, okay, in this case R sector antenna, but you can put directional antenna and make connection, PTP connection between this radio and second base station, which is somewhere outside. It can be, I don't know, 5-10 kilometers. And then, because this is dual radio as well, the second radio will be used for client access here. And again, if you use the NX card, it can be either 5 or 2.4 gigahertz. And now you have two physical units, one unit connected to the internet, but you are providing from this one up to 180 megabits capacity for these users. It's going over this radio to the opposite side, and then again you have additional 180 megabits aggregate, and this is going with gigabit Ethernet to your network. And without any cabling here, you are just putting one unit, providing power for this unit, and you have coverage for client on this one, but also on this one. And the rest is something like a fixed hotspot or mesh network. If you need, you can do it in this way, because we are also able to deliver omni antenna, which are dual polarized. And you can do it in this way, that you have dual radio system, 5 gigahertz is using, like, for example, PMP, and these units are connected as client to this one. And real clients are, for example, using 2.4 gigahertz, or it can be 5 gigahertz as well, but omni antenna, which is like a hotspot, and interconnection between hotspots, it's done through the wireless. If you are doing, and this is similar, it's like street fixed mesh. In this case, difference is that you have omni antenna for backhauling, which is on over 5 gigahertz, and you have omni for 2.4 client, and you are covering some street or some large area. Okay. Regarding base station, it's again web management and RCS. Remember, there is just RCS. And RCS in detail, some more picture to remember how it's working. It's like this one, you have RCS server. This RCS server can be deployed on your LAN network. It can be even on one network, and it can go even over internet, because all these communications are secure. And if you are doing this one over internet, you have just to use public addresses on these units, but then you can reach it from the RCS. And remember, all these blue lines are crypted. There is no way how to sniff the traffic and find what is inside. And for client, you have again computer, and because it's using HTTPS, it's again SSL type of communication. It's going to your server, and again this blue is scripted. Even over air, everything is scripted. I mentioned it before. I mentioned before that it's using this rule sets. I can skip to the live system now, because I prefer to use the live system. And you see I have this rule set section, and I can specify rule set for VLANs that I can define. For example, okay, I will use VLAN, it will be management, it will be 999. I will add user data, it will be, I don't know, 10, and it will be voice over IP, because I am providing, and it will be 20. Now I just define VLAN tags, and now if I need to specify some, if I need to define some VLAN rule set, I can simply add new rule set and say it will be my base station VLAN. In this case, I am not terminating any VLAN, and I am using management, user, and voice. In this case, my Ethernet port on base station is now VLAN trunk, and I expect this 10, 20, 99. All other VLANs will be simply dropped. Then I will create, how to say, data only, data, oh, sorry, data only user, and it will use management and just user data, and will terminate user data. It means if some data are going from Ethernet port to the user, it will be untagged. It will be the VLAN tag 10 will be simply cut off. And if some data are coming from the user to SU will add user tag 10 and send it to the network. Oh. Okay. Oh, I will. Sorry, it has to be like this one. Data only. And last one will be data plus VoIP. In this case, I will not terminate any VLAN. I will simply, again, put everything, because in this case, I have some gateway behind my SU, and this gateway will untag the user data and use probably target data from voice. And it's all. Now, if I need to create just SU with data only, I will assign VLAN with data only. If it's data and VoIP, I will use this one. And if it's base station, I will use this one. And I know that all VLANs are proper. And if I need to add additional VLAN or change something, I am simply doing in this VLAN rule set. And all devices are using this configuration. The second example, very quickly, it's bandwidth rule set. This is capacity for user. I can add new, and you can simply create as typical like bronze service. And it will be, I don't know, 1 meg and 256K. And you see, may borrow download capacity. You can select yes, no. If I specify no, it's like strict policy that the user is receiving just this one. Then I can create some gold. I skip the silver, which will be, I don't know, 10 megabits. It will be 2 megabits. And because it's a VIP customer, I will allow the borrow. In this case, this user gold user will have 10 megabits and 2 megabits capacity, and if there is some free capacity, he will receive also this free capacity. And bronze client is just receiving 1 meg and quarter meg, and if there is free capacity, he is not receiving more, just this fixed capacity. And now if I'm on the user, I can simply click on the user and look, it's enabled in my network in sub 10, and you see here bandwidth rule set. He is using B as default. I can specify, for example, bronze as default, but for this user, I prefer to have better capacity. In this case, I will go here and select gold. And now this user will not have half meg, will have this, I don't know, 10 meg to 2 megs capacity. This is how these rule sets are working. Yeah? It's very powerful tool because you can create unify configuration. You know that your network is consistent, and if you need to change something, you don't need too many devices. You can simply go to one rule set. Okay, I will skip this one because I presented on live system. Regarding the rule set discussion, whether it's useful or not, there is my question, my comments. Rule sets is definitely good for network configuration. You are sure that your network configuration is consistent. You are not doing manually device by device. Easy reconfiguration. If you have a network small one with 500 SU and you will decide to change one VLAN and you are doing it manually, you have to go 500 times to device and make such configuration. With rule set, you are just going to one rule set and adding VLAN or changing VLAN ID what you want. And it's very useful for some promo action. If you need, for example, to make feeling of your customer better, you can say, okay, this week I will increase your capacity twice. I will double your capacity. In this case, you don't need to change customer. You can simply say, okay, all bronze customer will be changed from 1 meg and quarter meg to 2 meg and half meg. And after 1 week, you can simply change this rule set, and again, you are on the original values. And disadvantage, there is nothing, because if you are not so happy with rule set, you have still possibility go to the device and make manual configuration. This is about RCS, very useful tool, and not so complicated. You have to spend some time to learn it, but when you know it, it's a very powerful and very useful tool. Regarding the statistics, I mentioned that there are some long-term, short-term statistic, and there are some online statistic as well. Very quickly, I don't know what is the time. Okay. Very useful is this statistic overview, because you see all clients, how good are these clients. I will now, because you probably know that I like live systems. I will go to some regular system, and look, I can go to the statistic overview, and you see a lot of clients with different setting. The nice feature is that you can organize on this quality index. You can see, okay, from the worst to better one, or you can it's ascending or descending as you need. And it's a very useful tool for some preemptive action, because when you see that your client, it's like not 100 or 90 100% or 90%, it's just 20%, you can investigate what is happening. And what are additional parameters here? You see it's download and upload. You can always select what time frame. You can select a period like today, yesterday, last week, or last month. And you see volume of data, download and upload. You see what is average RSSI indicator. You see CP rate. This is this error rate. You see here, this one is 130, which is on the highest modulation for 20 megahertz channel, and this is almost on highest modulation for PTP link. And you see also error percentage, and you can filter it if you would like to see 1 day or 2 days. Again, if I skip back to my RCS and go to this one, you see now it's last or past week, but you can say, okay, what was yesterday, and system is changing just for yesterday, or okay, 2 weeks back. Oh, it's nothing, because it's not running so long. It's just no data in database, because I switch off the RCS for some time. But you see what was day before yesterday, today. You can see what was last 14 days. And again, all these data are here. You can simply order it based on the quality or receiving signal, volume of upload. All these blue names are for searching or for ordering. And if you need just select, okay, I would like just select my base station, you can filter it. You see now there is just one client. Or you can look just for network. If you have more networks, you can select just sub 10 CZ or sub 10 UK, what you want. Then specific statistics, it's again, it's like cumulative statistic. You see again different days that you can filter past week, past 2 weeks, past months, today, and 16 or more up to 30 days back, this year and also year before. And you can always filter. You see networks, and again, I have filtered that. I can look just for sub 10, or I can look just for base station, or I can just look for some client based on the MAC address, or I can just look, okay, base station and radio card 1, and it must last 7 days, but just today. And system is providing you see different these data. And batch statistic is similar statistic, but organized based on the network, base station, or interface. It's like cumulative or sum type of statistic. Okay, you have this in the presentation. You can later on check it. I will simply skip to last one, which is online statistic. And again, we have live system here. If I go to this client, in the menu I can, oh sorry, I have to Okay, I'm on the client, and I have to go down, and I have show statistic here. System will open new window, and by default it's refresh time to 5 seconds, but you can even set it to the 1 second. And now system is providing you information: what is volume of data, what modulations are used for transmission, and so on. This is just 65 megabit. Remember, I set channel bandwidth to 10 megabits only. And now I can try to generate some traffic. Okay, it's pinging. I can use the -F option, which is trying to flood the interface, and you can see now immediately how it's going up. It's going. You see online data, how system is increasing capacity. It will not go so much up because I'm using flooding to management of SU. If there will be PC behind this SU, the capacity will be much higher. Okay, and you see it's this online statistic, and this is last slide of my presentation. Now it's all from my side, and if there is any question, it's time for question. I can unmute all of you. Muted. Okay. Okay. We are now unmute. If there is any question, just ask me.
No questions from me, Peter. Thank you very much.
No question too. Thank you very much.
Okay, in this case, guy, I'm sorry, I have big echo, and in this case, if there is no more question, thank you for your time. The presentation is recorded, and Diana will later on distribute. This is for you if you need to go. We are usually providing two files. One is just presentation, and second, it's recorded webinar that you can see all slides, and you can also listen to speech which was during the presentation. Okay.
All right. Thank you very much, Peter.
Thanks too. Have a nice day. Take care. Bye bye.
Do the same. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.